Hi everyone, this is Anand from Team Amoeboids presenting you with C-Suite Conversations. Today I have with me Anna from AlphaServe. AlphaServe is a platinum marketplace partner on the Atlassian Marketplace. And not only that, they are a silver solution partner as well. Hi Anna, welcome to the show.
Hi everyone. Hi Anand. I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting me. I think I need to give some details about what we do. As you mentioned, AlphaServe is Atlassian Marketplace partner and solution partner. We are with Atlassian for 4 years already. We have started right in autumn of 2018, but the whole story of the company is much longer, as it was founded in 2003. And before Atlassian, we have been doing have been providing the services as an outsourcing provider for software development for companies from all over the world. So we are a professional development team, currently focused on our own applications for Atlassian Marketplace, but we also operate in other ecosystems such as ServiceNow, Shopify, Zendesk, and some more coming soon.
Wow.
We are from Ukraine. I believe now everyone knows where the country is. And we have 37 employees at the moment, working from Ukraine and from other locations, but all of them are Ukrainians. So what else? What else are you interested in?
I mean, that's a good beginning. I did know obviously that AlphaServe is on the Atlassian Marketplace, but this is the first time that I realized you guys started back in 2003. That's a long way to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about your journey of building this organization, what your role is, and how did you get started?
I joined AlphaServe almost 4 years ago, just right when the application project, at the moment it wasn't a project, it was just something new to try. When all this started, when the first app was launched in the Atlassian Marketplace, I know personally the founder of the company for many, many years because we have started together at school. So we have been friends for a long time. And once he was talking about the new project he's launching, and I offered some help in terms of marketing and business development support. And this is how we started to work together and how I joined AlphaServe team. I'm at the moment responsible for business development, partnerships, and marketing strategy of all of our products, including Atlassian apps and apps on other marketplaces. What else?
So how many apps do you have on the Atlassian Marketplace?
We had 24 till yesterday, but yesterday the 25th was released and it's live. So we have 25 applications on the marketplace. They can be grouped to certain groups. The heart of our portfolio, general, not only on Atlassian, but on Atlassian as well, is the BI connector group. So we provide BI connectors for Jira, for various BI tools like Microsoft Power BI, Tableau software, Google BigQuery, SAP Analytics Cloud, and others. This group of applications allow to export Jira data to a certain BI tool to build reports, dashboards, and analytics. So generally, data extraction and business intelligence is our core competence in all the systems. In addition to BI connectors, we have security applications on the Atlassian Marketplace. We provide 2FA solutions for various Atlassian products, web authoring solutions for on-premise Atlassian products. And we have some other apps. We call it the Project Excellence Group, where we have, for example, Git integration for Jira, checklist for Jira, and other small but very useful applications.
Well, Awesome. And what other marketplaces are you currently participating in, apart from the Atlassian Marketplace, of course?
Apart from Atlassian Marketplace, we have Power BI connector for ServiceNow, which is available on the ServiceNow store. So it's our second year as Atlassian as a ServiceNow technology partner, and we have one application there. We have two apps on the Zendesk Marketplace. This is the most recent one. We launched it just a couple of months ago. We also have BI connectors there for Tableau and for Power BI. And we have 4 applications on the Shopify App Store. It's a little bit different from Atlassian because it's not business software, it's e-commerce sphere. But we also provide 2 BI connectors there, Power BI connector and Tableau connector for Shopify. And we have 2 other applications. One is Exportier, which is for data export to CSV and Excel. And the second one is Edited, which enables bulk of Shopify product edits, for example, bulk price change or change SEO attributes in bulk.
So core of your activities seem to be revolving around the business intelligence and analytics.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, I'm not sure if the pandemic has had any impact on this space. Do you want to elaborate how the business intelligence space has evolved in the last decade or so, and where do you see it going in the next few years?
Okay, I have my perception of the situation. It's maybe subjective, but anyway, I would say that the last years, including pandemic and the general trends of what is happening, have also influenced the business intelligence as industry and as a business practice. For example, one of the trends that has changed is the data transparency. So the companies, I believe it's also because of the fact that many teams have gone in a distributed work mode, remote work mode, and generally the value of data transparency in the company is really high, because everyone wants and needs to know what is happening on a team level, on a company level, where the business is going, what are the results, to, for example, to measure the personal or the team impact. So that's why the companies prefer to have reports that can be easily shared, that can be published online and accessible to multiple users whenever they are, to have for the clear information about the status quo, about the results. So one of the trends is definitely the data transparency. Another option which I've noticed is the fact that the companies are moving deeper into analytics, because previously I've once read a report that 97% of the information that can be available to a company is left unused. And one of the main issues is in this perspective is that the companies in fact use a lot of software on a daily basis. So the users, the employees use something to optimize the workflow or to manage some tasks, but not all of them actually use this data. So this software collects thousands and thousands of records and data that can be grouped, analyzed, visualized, and there can be a lot of input from it. But the companies have not been using it before. So now the general movement is to integrate everything, to grab data, to visualize it, to see what can be taken from there, what can be done using this data, and that's an important movement at the moment. So the integration is very actual, I would say, because it allows to connect all possible software to BI tools and combine data together. Another thing that I would like also to mention is that the importance of data accessibility is growing significantly. So the managers or the top management or the team leaders, they want to see reports, analytics reports anytime, whenever they are. So they don't want to have it once a month. because anything is happening on a daily basis, and the horizon of planning can be different. So sometimes it's shorter than a month. For example, for us, it's also actual. So we do not have a long term. So we have an idea how we want it to be, but it's 2 weeks sprint is more close to reality than the year plan.
Yeah, I mean,
so that is why the reports the reports go cloud. The BI goes cloud actively, as the whole world does, and it's not an inclusion because the people want to have access from anywhere, anytime, and have and be able to see the actual data, the actual situation on the team, on the company, on the industry, whatever. So it's one of the options. And the last one, not the least, but the last I will mention today, is the simplification. So I think it comes out of all previous points that I mentioned. The situation when a company spends 3 weeks of different analytics from different teams to create a single report per month is going to the past. So it's not acceptable anymore that several people are working on several data sources, collecting data, making some reports, and then trying to align the data from one department to another, and spending time on these discrepancies and finding them, and trying to create a single report that would be correct. So this is a big deal for big enterprise, of course, for big companies, but they are also moving to the side of simplification, of smart integrations, of AI in business intelligence. So this situation is changing, and the business intelligence reports are becoming more simple in terms of time and effort spent to build the report and to support it.
Based on your experiences, given that you have implemented BI tools for multiple organizations, and apps, can you think about any specific characteristics, traits of teams that successfully adopt the BI tools? I mean, creating a report is one thing, right? But getting value out of that report, and in a way sort of integrating those changes, or rather incorporating changes based on those insights, is completely right.
Yeah, definitely.
So the effectiveness really comes in the latter part. So have you observed any specific traits, characteristics across the teams that have been successful in doing that?
Well, honestly, the smaller teams and the agile teams are quickly reacting on what they see on the dashboards. In bigger companies, it's a little bit more difficult because they are a little bit slower in changes. They have all these procedures and they have to plan everything, and it's not always working effective. So it takes them longer to implement something. But the smaller teams are more flexible here, so they see that something is not working. They plan for the next few sprints what can they do to make it better. But for example, if it comes to service desk teams, so customer support teams or other teams which are using ITSM solutions or service desk solutions, for them, so their perception is one of the best, because they want to see what is the impact of their work. So how do they work? And sometimes it's even motivation. So for example, today our team have accepted 100 calls and lost only one. So it's amazing when the team sees it, and they are very motivated when it's shared to other teams who, for example, for the sales teams who attract the customers and work with them directly. So they are happy to share that our impact is also important, and your customers continue to buy of also because of the whole teamwork.
Right.
And that can be for many departments. The same, for example, that sales and marketing can be sometimes it's challenging to communicate, and such reports that are shared help to improve the communication, because sales see that the marketing are doing great efforts. The same see the marketing, so they're not doing only marketing, but the sales team is also actively working. The same, for example, for logistics and sales, that if we're talking about offline businesses. So this sometimes it's difficult for teams to accept the idea that everyone would be seeing our results, or the idea of, is this data correct? It seems to me that it's not correct. Did you calculate it right? But when companies spend some time on explanations, why it's needed, how it's built, it will help you. What is the value of using this data output? Then the teams start to use it in daily work, and the major part of the teams accept it. But of course, the agile teams, they are more used to work with changes in smaller teams, in smaller companies, and those using agile. So for them, it's just like, okay, one more way to do something, one more source of inspiration. So these are my thoughts on this.
Wow. So agile is something that, we get to hear in almost all of these conversations. Amoeboids, I'm sure you know this already. Amoeboids, Platinum Marketplace partner with Atlassian, and our flagship app, or rather now flagship suite of apps called Appraise, we have built it based on the concept of agile performance management. So the agility angle almost always comes into the picture, whether that is BI, whether that is software development, whether that is ITSM, or whether that is performance management. Really interesting. Can you talk about some of the tips for organizations, for teams who want to implement business intelligence tools in their day-to-day activities? How do they go
about it? It's a hot topic, because companies understand that they need to implement something, and the general tips would start from the major one. Plan and prepare well. Because in any project, the preparation is 80% of success, and this is not an exclusion. So if the company is considering implementing some business analytics or some business intelligence, the main point is to prepare better, to take a look what you are using, to take a look at what your data sources, what you have, what you wish to have as an outcome, to work in teams in various departments together, because very often the interests of the teams cross in certain point in terms of data they want to see. So my advice is, of course, to prepare better, when you exactly know what you want, in what reports you want to see, how you want to share them, how do you wish to manage access to reports, whether they would be public or personal, for top management only or for all employees, how you would share by email or by a link, or it would be published on a daily basis somewhere on your website. So the good preparation will help in many further steps when defining which tool to select, when defining which data sources do you need to connect, and this will influence on the tool that you select, because the complexity of the project implementation would be different depending on it. So to estimate the costs and the timeline for the implementation, to understand if you need some more people to attract on a constant basis to your team, like business analysts or controllers or whatever. So the main the main success lies in the first step, when you plan and prepare the project.
Right. True. Now, another interesting question I had, and this I really want to understand more because I myself I'm trying to implement intelligence here at Amoeboids BI tools. Typically, which are the teams, right? So, I mean, if I were to be more specific, tell me three functions, three teams, three departments that are most likely to adopt the BI tools in the initial stages of implementation.
Well, it's difficult to be exact here because its perception can be subjective. But anyway, as I said, the customer support teams are more likely to accept it quickly. Also, the teams which are which are used to work with KPIs and data, and it depends on generally on the culture of the company and then the processes, because sometimes all departments like marketing, sales, HR teams, they have KPIs on a different. So, for example, employee retention, or I don't know. So for HR.
There are engagement related, there are goal setting related, there are feedback.
Yeah. So the teams who are used to work with data with KPIs, so they understand how they are calculated, that there's not something subjective, are we working well or are we working bad. So these teams are more open to accept the analytics implementation. And of course, the development team, for example, if we are talking about software development, the development teams are also open for that, because there are common pains like task estimation or completeness of closing all the tasks in the sprint. So these questions face many teams. And business analytics, for example, when you start collecting data and after some period of time, you are able to analyze your previous sprints to see how it was going, how many tasks are closed, and how. So there is always a dependence. So when you start to analyze something, collecting data and then analyze something, there is always something seen. So there are always ways to improve, room for improvement, to optimize. So that is why, of course, some teams are more likely to adopt it easier. The other teams, it's hard for them to understand. But generally, a lot of result on acceptance lies on the information and providing the knowledge to the teams how it can help their daily job. Because normally people, when they face something new, say, oh my God, something new, I will need to do something new, I will need to change my work. I got used to do what I'm doing, but now they wanted me to do something differently. And even if it is so, the main point is to provide knowledge on the value. So how can it help you? How can you see what you can do differently? How it can help you optimize the time spent on something, or how can this improve teamwork? So definitely the knowing the value would help to accept the changes.
Right. One last question before you go on, and I want to move away a little bit from the BI related discussion. The question I wanted to ask was the plan for the next couple of years from AlphaServe's point of view? I mean, I already see you guys have entered a number of other marketplaces in addition to the Atlassian Marketplace, right? So what are you planning in the next 2-3 years?
Well, as I said, it's difficult to plan exactly, but of course we have a vision, and the long-term vision of our company is to become a multiple ecosystem vendor with main focus on business intelligence integrations and on data transformation. So on everything that is related to data extraction, data transformation, business intelligence reporting, and so on. And the main focus for us would be on the enterprise software. We already know more and more, learn more and more for these years, the requests and the pains of bigger companies. So what they want from business analytics, what they want, what they need, what level of support do they expect to have, what level of data security they want to see on such tools, because data security is one of the hot topics from various sides, from some security threats, and for example, on the sharing on sensitive data inside of the team. Right. That is why we see ourselves as a leading multiple marketplace vendor. Of course, there are some new marketplaces which we recently joined, like ServiceNow. We joined this spring, and Zendesk, as I said, last month. So here we are just starting the way, and of course we want to be the same, the high level partner, the same as the platinum level for the Atlassian Marketplace. And we do have a roadmap for joining other ecosystems and other marketplaces, and we are now considering, because every ecosystem is a separate project, you know, to investigate before moving on. And we are now investigating on the SAP ecosystem. There are a lot of products, and they also have a marketplace on Salesforce. And this is the basically plan for the coming 2 years.
Amazing, amazing. Well, good luck with your vision and its execution. It was
thank you. Yeah, thank you. The same to you. Thank you for inviting me. It was nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.